I wish I knew what the future of video distribution and television content and branded content was precisely, because I'd go start my own agency and become phenomenally wealthy. That said, I think what we see is the indomitable march of technology forward towards a point where content will be distributed directly to consumers, and likely a great disintermediation of cable networks and branded television networks. The concern for brands and agencies alike in that future state is what we've seen so far from the Netflix and Rokus of the world is that there are very few or very little paid advertising opportunities in those models, which I think places a mandate on agencies and on marketers to figure out how they can produce their own content that is relevant to consumers and that consumers want to watch and seek out. I think Chipotle's recent experiments with content on Hulu is a great example of what that future might look like. I think some of the work that Tribal's done with McDonald's in Canada around the Our Food, Your Questions platform, in taking consumer questions and answering those in kind of documentarian style content is another way to go about that. And then some work that Tribal's also done with Volkswagen in London called Play the Road, where we've hacked a Volkswagen engine and used that engine's response to drivers in order to create music content that's filmed and distributed, is yet another way to go about that. What we've seen here in the US around some anti-drug abuse campaigns that we produce for the Consumer Healthcare Products Association is that great content is one thing, and people respond to great content, but they have to hear about it first. And we've seen a lot of success promoting that content through Facebook advertising. And that drives a lot of traffic to the content we're producing for Chippa to encourage people not to abuse certain over-the-counter drugs. But whether it's social advertising, whether it is in-theater advertising, in some way, shape, or form, or whether it's just word of mouth, people have to learn about the content you're producing in order to consume it. Well, I think YouTube is largely at scale, or is at scale. The key is with all that content out there and all that scale out there, how does a consumer find your content? But I think this is where an existing platform like Hulu and their partnership with Chipotle makes a ton of sense for me. Hulu has a mass of users. They have a discovery engine already built, and Chipotle plugged branded content into that engine in a way that could be recommended to the user of Hulu. We've all seen this with Netflix. You've watched program X, so you might like program Y. And the more brands can plug into those existing technology networks versus just place the content on their Facebook page or place the content on their website and hope that people will discover it, the better. And I don't know that any of our ROI models, whether they're for digital banner advertising or television advertising, are fully where the industry as a whole would like them to be, and that's a big topic at this 4A's conference that's come up in lots of panels so far, is how do we actually prove the ROI behind what we're doing, and how do we transform measurement models in a way that they're more accountable. That said, if the question becomes the future of media and content distribution is such that there are no longer paid advertising opportunities, what choice do we as an industry have but to adapt, learn, and experiment with new ways to reach consumers with meaningful messages?
We've gone to all these different places and been able to embrace the culture there. We learn what other agencies are like and how we can take all these best practices back to your own agency and really learn. And the best part, we always talk about, it's not about talking, it's about doing.